Welcome back to the Viking Central podcast. We have a fun little stream for you guys tonight. We're going to start doing this more and more as draft season gets closer. I mean, we're already in the draft season, but as the draft gets closer and closer and closer, we're going to do a mock draft today. It's our 1.0. Me and Austin are going to collaborate on it and see if we can come to an agreement on every single draft pick. There might be some back and forth, but that's the fun of it. But Austin, how the hell are you doing?
Oh, doing just fantastic. I mean, if you'd asked me last night, though, that Timberwolves game had me pretty irritated. I guess Opie Toppin's best player on earth, but I guess we're moving on to NFL here, so I guess that makes me more happy.
Classic Minnesota sports where some random ball player just goes off on us.
Yeah.
We could have used that because Golden State lost last night. It's just like, of course.
And
But
Golden State plays tonight against
yeah,
the Lakers
Milwaukee.
with Steph out, against the Bucks with Steph out. So I
Yep.
mean, it would have been big, but
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, that's very true. The Timberwolves and they're full steam ahead. Draft season's full steam ahead. It's a lot of fun time of the year. We're gonna also do something pretty fun next week. And I'm gonna pull that up right here. So it's a $10 mock draft week. So we're gonna have any of you guys donate $10 and you're going to join us live on stream and lead us in a mock draft for the Vikings. All profits will go to the JJ for the Kids Foundation. We always like to support one of the players' foundations. DM us for more info. Again, you guys kind of get to come on here with us, just lead the mock draft and kind of go the direction you guys want to go. You can be the GM for the day. And again, all profits will go to JJ for the Kids Foundation. Will be a lot of fun. Get to talk ball with you guys here a little bit. Again, DM us for more info. You can DM me over on Vike Central or tweet at me or whatever you need to do. Again, if you're on Twitter, that's the best place to reach me. But if you're on YouTube, just hop over to Twitter and type in Viking Central, and you can DM me on there. Or I can put my email at the bottom here too, real quick. You can email us at vikecentral@gmail.com if you're interested as well. If you're on Facebook, same thing. You can even go on Messenger and do that as well. But $10 for a mock draft. We can go 15, 20 minutes and do a mock draft. Just have some fun with you guys. Again, all those profits will go to JJ for the Kids Foundation. He partnered with a pizza company in the Twin Cities this last week and just donated $10,000, I think. So it's going to a really good cause. So that'd be for, again, JJ for the Kids Foundation. Just reach out to us if any of you guys are interested.
yeah, it'd be a lot of fun. Look forward to meeting some of you guys. I hope you guys do come on, and it's going to a good cause, as you can see. But
no doubt about it.
It's going to be a lot of fun just getting to see everyone's opinions, and that's the fun part about the draft is a lot of differing opinions. So it'll be an exciting time.
For sure, it is a lot of fun. Like you said, different opinions. There's so many players out there, and it's not like we can pinpoint a player or two that they're going to go after because at this point they can almost go best player available, which is a lot of fun for sure. All right, let's do this thing. So I didn't want to do that, but let's go here. So I do want to shout out our sponsors real quick if you guys are watching. Stead Foods is our first one. I'm not going to do the promo video tonight, but just use code VC10. You see the link in the bottom of the screen there. Go support us over there. Also support us and support That's Badass Wood Art. Use code VC15. I actually pulled my sign down to give you guys a better idea. This is like well made, really awesome. This is a skull sign right here. He does an amazing job. Go over to That's Badass Wood Art, that'sbadasswoodart.com. Use code VC15 for 15% off your order, and he'll get you hooked up. So just really two really good companies, huge Vikings fans. They'll get you guys hooked up. All right. Okay. Before we get into the mock draft here, I do want to just kind of go over some of the news that came out today. Jeff Okudah is the big one. Austin, 1-year deal. We didn't see the terms or anything like that, but I'm guessing it's a pretty team-friendly deal, close to the vet minimum in my opinion. But just a guy to add more depth in that cornerback room. Former top 3 draft pick. He's the 3rd overall pick, which is just crazy. See if Brian Flores can get something out of him. But your initial thoughts on that?
Yeah, he's had a tough go at it here at the start of his career, but he was a high-end prospect. He's been bouncing around, had a couple injuries as well, but I honestly think this is kind of a play to where to where Brian Flores is going to hopefully pull like a KOC, the Sam Darnold comparison is what I've been seeing. And I like that a lot. I think with the coaching staff we have here, we're not going to go get a guy that's a project like that if they don't believe that they can get the most out of him. And
Yeah.
so I like it. It's roll low risk. He probably won't see the field until he proves himself in practice or if there's injury. So
Yeah.
I I think it's a good play for what could be a key piece come playoff time.
Yeah, and that's true. Yeah, for sure. I think he's gonna probably be the fourth corner right off the bat. And some people are speculating if he's even gonna make the 53-man roster. I think he will, just for the upside, the potential there.
Yeah.
But you got to just let it play out. A guy like Dwight McGlothern can come in and beat him out, or whatever they do in the draft. So yeah, it's very interesting. Skull baby, Skull Vikings. Let's go, Minnesota Vikings news fans on YouTube. Thanks for shouting us out over there. That's awesome. So yeah, I love the signing. Low risk, big reward. That's a Kwesi type signing, and pairing him with Brian Flores, I have no issue with that at all. A couple more things I want to run down here. Not huge news, but just before we get into the mock, I like going over everything that goes on, just if you guys haven't heard. So quickly on Rondale Moore, he visited Chicago, I think yesterday or the day before, and then visited the Jets today. It sounds like the Vikings did offer him, but he wanted to kind of go around. But there is some issues with his medicals right now with that knee. So I don't know if he has to pick between the Vikings, the Bears, or the Jets. I think that's a pretty easy decision. But we'll see. We'll see if that does come to fruition. I don't know if he's got any more visits or anything like that. But he has made his rounds a little bit. But Justin Mello, he's a draft guy or a draft expert over at the Draft Network, I believe. Caleb Etienne, a big offensive tackle from BYU, is visiting the Vikings probably as we speak right now. 6'8", 320 pounds, just a massive offensive tackle. Probably be more of like a depth piece, but Brian O'Neill is getting up there in age, so you never know when they're looking for a replacement. So that was just interesting as well. A really big dude that's adding to another offensive line if they do go that route in the draft. And I know we don't want to talk about Aaron Rodgers too much, but I don't know if you saw the Josina Anderson report that sounds like the Steelers are feeling pretty good about it. Just your quick initial thoughts on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, me and you have kind of beat that on the head quite a bit here. It's a
Yep.
matter of I think he's using the Vikings as leverage. He has a good situation going forward. I think in Pittsburgh, not as good as Minnesota, but wasn't neutral interest, obviously.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I was just looking at the markets too. I think the Vikings are back down to 15%. They're up to as high as like 30% earlier today or something like that. And then the report came out and it's back to like the Steelers 55% and the Vikings like 16% or something like that. And again, that could change by the day, but hopefully we get a solution on this. So first we can quit talking about it as well. And oh yeah, that's right. Bison, Minnesota sports fan, Steve, he was on here the other day. And we're going to get him on again. So that'll be a lot of fun. But Tyler Lockett is on the Vikings radar. Doogie reported there was some interest there. That's probably my favorite option right now if they are bringing in another guy for that group over there.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we've been talking about that too. And you've been really high on Lockett, and I wouldn't hate it. I love the bringing in veteran presence with kind of a young offense. I think that would be a good play. He's been in a winning offense before. He'd be a good culture piece as well, like we've been saying. So
Yeah.
I would love that. I'd love that move as well.
Awesome. Yep, for sure. And he'd be great for JJ McCarthy, just a guy that can move the sticks, knows how to get open, and would be another guy that could just convert on third downs, a big third down target, like a Jarius Wright back in the day, who just knew how to get open and move the sticks, something that is always sorely needed. I feel like we have guys that do that, but doesn't hurt to add another one, especially if the price is right. So, yeah, no, for sure. That's some things that happened today. It was actually kind of a busy day. Not any huge news, but there were some tidbits that happened, which of course we wanted to talk about. But we are going to get into the mock draft now, which is going to be a lot of fun here. I'm going to be on a different tab. I don't have my second screen up, which is kind of my fault. But so I'm going to be over on the PFF mock simulator. So yeah, Austin's going to kind of lead if there's any comments or anything like that. I'm gonna do my best to move back and forth here, and kind of go from there. So I'll be kind of going back and forth. So pick 24 here for the Minnesota Vikings. We're gonna go 7 rounds. I'm not gonna go turbo quite right off the bat because you never know. I'll go about halfway. Are you good with all these sliders here, public versus PFF board? I feel like we really don't need to change anything.
Yeah, that's not really going to affect it very much. I don't think.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
For sure. So we're gonna start it here. Again, we only have 4 picks as of now. Pick 24. We're gonna look. We might look to move down. We'll kind of see who falls to us and just kind of go from there. But yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun. If you guys have any suggestions in the comments or anything like that, we might peek over there and look. But me and us are gonna kind of lead this thing and see if we can build out some depth and get some star players here for the Vikings. So you ready to do this, Austin?
Yep.
All right. Again, we're probably not going to trade up or anything like that, but I'll stop at probably about pick 20 just in case something crazy does happen, and we'll kind of go from there. Well, Ash and Jonty went to number 4 to the Patriots, it looked like. All right. Stop here at 21 with the Steelers. Kind of just scroll up. So Cam Ward went number 2, Travis Hunter number 2, or Cam Ward went number 1, Travis Hunter number 2. Jonty went number 4. Michael Williams, edge out of Georgia, went to the Bears, which you don't always like the studs rushing your quarterback, but that's the way it is. Malachi Starks went 16 to the
Yeah, that is
Cardinals.
interesting. Yeah.
And Kenneth Grant 17th. I feel like that might be the area that they're going to be honest with you.
Yeah, I agree with that as well.
Yep. So for some reason, I hate this. I can't look at the big board right now until it's our pick, which is really dumb because what if you want to trade up? Because it won't let me look, unfortunately, at the big board until pick number 24. So we're just gonna go. I don't think
I don't think there's a scenario where we move up anyway.
Exactly. All right. So we got some options here. Bunch of defensive interior guys: Derek Harmon, Darius Allen. I can come back here. Walter Nolan, Amarian Hampton's still there. I'll actually scroll down here as well. Colston Loveland, people have been talking about. Gray Zabel, TJ Sanders, I like, but there's a lot of options here. So I think we look at a trade down. Do you agree with that, Austin?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I feel like it'd be weird because I like Derek Harmon here the most, but I feel like with where we did in free agency, he's not the type of guy that's going to want to come in and kind of develop. So I think that would be a weird situation.
Yeah. I love Derek Harmon. The Vikings were at the Oregon Pro Day today. I'm sure there's some interest there. Both Darius Alexander and Walter Nolan are big time interior pass rushers. Walter Nolan is so damn quick. That's a player I'd like. I'd like any 3 of those guys. Amarian Hampton, is he still on the board? Gray Zabel, we've talked about a lot, just to be able to be really versatile. But let's look at these trades here. You want to trade back? Okay, we got trade back 2 spots to the Rams, 7 spots to the Chiefs, or 23 spots to the Cardinals, or 33 spots to the Panthers.
I kind of like the 7 spots back to the Chiefs.
Let's see what they got. And they got some nice picks here too. So if we go here, would they give us the 63, 37% chance? What if I throw
maybe they'd give us the 66 because it's not their pick?
45% chance. 26% chance. I was doing this earlier, and there was like times where they would accept like a 25% chance to be accepted. So I'll try. It gives us a couple chances to do it. So what do you think if we go 24 for the 31, the 66, and the 133?
Yeah, I like it.
Let's see. And trade accepted. Oh boy. Look at that. Derek Harmon still on the board. Gray Zabel still on the board, and Darius Alexander still on the board.
That's interesting.
Yeah, that's honestly, those are really
Well,
high up where I wanted to be.
yeah, what are you thinking here?
Well, I would have liked Nick Monroy to fall to 31, but he went 27 to the Ravens. Really? You got Kyle Hamilton over there. They just
Yeah, I
want all
know.
these guys.
You're just trying to stockpile, I guess, huh?
I guess so. Tyler Booker went a pick before us. Um, Gosh, just looking at this, it might be a little bit of a homerish take, but like you said, we've done a lot of work on both lines, but I feel like we have a spot on the offensive line, a guard spot that is open to get someone in there, and I think Gray Zabel could fill that from day one.
Yeah.
Where Derek Harmon and Darius Alexander would be more rotational pieces. So if they're looking, well, what they've done so far this offseason, they want impact players right away. Not saying they won't be impact players, but I think Gray Zabel could be a full-time starter from day one.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like I've kind of, but me and you have talked a lot about Gray Zabel. I like him quite a bit.
Yep.
I think he's going to help the run game out a lot. He's an athletic tackle that's going to move to the guard position, so he's going to bring a lot of athleticism to the interior.
Yep.
So I like that quite a bit. My only concern was here is I feel like we were feeling best available, and Harmon dropped quite a bit, but I do like Gray Zabel better on the Vikings. I agree with that.
Let's go Zabel.
Yeah.
I just think it fills a need right away. I think they're still decently high on Blake Brandel, but if you're going with JJ McCarthy and you stick Zabel in there, that offensive line is completely fixed and you're ready to go. So if you're good with that, let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Gray Zabel, welcome to the Minnesota Vikings. We can speed this up a little bit here. I don't think we're going to focus on doing many trade ups. Let's just stick and pick and see what we got here. All right. Jackson Dart went to the Giants at pick 65.
Yeah,
right.
I don't think he's going to fall that far realistically, but
For sure.
yeah, that's a good pick up there.
For sure. A couple of the running backs went Travion Henderson, 57 to the Panthers, Caleb Johnson to the Lions. Really? Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, and Caleb Johnson. Okay. Darian Porter, I'm really high on, like 6'4", super lengthy, super athletic, super fast. Here on like a 4.3, which is crazy at the combine. I would have loved him in Minnesota. But looking at the big board here, I know running back's not a super big need. Cam Scatabo would be great value here. I really love Dylan Sampson, just a speedster. If we're looking for another cornerback, Benjamin Morris, had a little bit of a down year, but pretty good in coverage, good in run defense. Is just a really good player, to be honest with you. But
yeah, I mean, I like Morrison a lot. 6 foot, 190.
Yep.
Kind of not the biggest guy, but he brings in a little bit of weight there. He's not going to get pushed around. He's going to be able to hand check and give a little pressure at the line of scrimmage. I kind of like him as well. I just don't really see the need to take a running back this high.
For sure.
Even though I've really liked Scatteroo, I think he would be good. But I think Mason has that position that he's going to be the guy that is going to be pounding the ball. So I think we're looking more for a speed back.
For sure. Any interest in a tight end at this point? I know we've talked about that a little bit, but Mason Taylor's a really good receiving tight end. And maybe we're not looking for a receiving tight end because we do have TJ Hawkinson. We're looking for more of that third. But we've talked about this, where maybe they could go tight end at some point. But and even Terrence Ferguson's down here as well from Oregon. And they were there at the at the pro day today. Do you think tight end could be an option in these middle rounds, or kind of stay away?
I do think, yeah, I could see it happening. I think it's gonna have to be the right guy for whatever they're thinking. And Mason Taylor honestly could be that guy. He is a versatile and very a fast tight end kind of, and he isn't terrible in the run game either.
For sure. Nope. I hear you. That would be the guy that I would aim for. But sorry, just gonna update YouTube here. Bob, thank you for hopping on. Fat Boy Yogi, let's do it. Skull Prod. Thank you guys for over on YouTube. If you're over on Twitter, thank you. I appreciate it. But go over to subscribe on YouTube. That's one of the best ways to support us. I see Skull Prod says he's got that A-Rod jersey on pre-order for us. I don't think it's happening, buddy. I don't think it's happening. But just looking at the way this board fell, like you said, if we needed a running back, this would be fantastic. But I think we maybe add a corner like a Benjamin Morris at this point, just to
Yeah,
get some
I
more
was
young
thinking
talent in
Benjamin
there.
Morrison too.
Yep,
I like him. He was at Notre Dame. They played very well there. The
for
defense
sure.
was stellar. He knows. I think he's gonna fit well in with fit
Yep,
in well with this defense, and
for sure.
someone like Harrison Smith and Byron Murphy Jr. I think they might be able to mentor him a little bit, and he'd be a really good fit here for the Vikings.
Yeah, and like you said, he's 6 foot 190, but he plays way bigger than he actually is. Like he's got some tenacity to him, which I really like, and what Brian Flores will really like as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna pick him at 66, and that looks like it's about right where he should land. So perfect. Next pick is pick 97. But we got 2 top 66 picks, and I think we did pretty damn good. If you guys are just tuning in, our first 2 picks were Gray Zabel and Benjamin Morrison. Just filling a couple needs here. That quarterback class is looking better, but we just need some more young talent in there to compete. And I think Austin says this one thing he listened to with Mike Zimmer: you can never have enough corners.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So I think I might know where I'm going here, but there is a couple other interesting options. Looking at Andrew Makuba might be my guy because of safety. He's rangy. He could fit in that room. Harrison Smith is only getting up there in age. Who knows if he's going to be back next year? I really like Harold Fannin Jr. Talking about tight ends again. That's another guy I really like. But I also really love Deion Walker to add to that defensive line as well. Any other guys you're seeing on here, or who you kind of pinpointing right here, Austin?
Yeah, I mean, I really like Rucker too out of UNC, but I just don't see our edge rush in our
Okay.
future. I like him quite a bit.
Yep.
But yeah, like you're saying, Deion Walker, he was a big part with that Kentucky defense this year. He
Yep.
created havoc. He can get to the passer, and maybe if we hadn't gone cornerback last time, Dorian Strong would be a good
Yeah,
pickup. But
for sure.
um, that Harold Fanning Jr., I think that might be my pick there. I think would be a good pickup.
You see that overall grade there? 95.9 PFF grade with a
Yeah.
96.4 receiving grade.
Yeah, he was tearing up the MAC for sure.
Yep.
Couple of the MAC games I picked up on, he was quite an impact player. So I think he'd be a fun player too. And he's 6'4", 230, bigger guy. I think that would be a good fit. The kind of pick up on Hawkinson, maybe in a little bit of a mentoring role or maybe just a depth role.
For sure. I'm kind of leaning that way too, for sure. Isaiah Bond, what do you think of Isaiah Bond? A kind of a speedster who can get down the field.
Yeah, I mean that could be the route we go in wide receiver 3 room. I would actually like that quite a bit. It's just he's kind of a shorter guy, and
Yeah,
Addison is too. I just don't think we need 2
for sure.
undersized wide receivers. That's what I would say
Yeah,
on that factor. On that,
especially if you get like a Tyler Lockett.
yeah,
That kind of defeats the purpose. And I'm not saying we're getting Tyler Lockett or anything like that. But yeah, Isaiah Bond, he's kind of comparable to a Jordan Addison or even like a Jalen Naylor. They kind of got the same skill sets a little bit. So yeah, I don't know if that would mesh, 100%. I don't see it as a need for that over the top guy because I feel like we have a couple guys there already. But let's go Harold Fannin if you're good with that.
I am good with that.
Perfect. We're nailing it. Pick 133 is next up.
What's going to be left for us here?
Some interesting one. This might be the time where you do go halfback. It's a little bit deeper in the draft. We're into round 4 now, and the way this kind of fell, I wouldn't hate it. Is there any guys on here that you're kind of saying I need him on our roster?
Brashard Smith is really interesting. I know we see Jaden Blue up there, but I like Brashard Smith a lot more. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's an interesting running back, and
for sure.
they ran the ball a lot more at SMU than they did at Texas. He had a lot more of experience, and
Yep,
that was a really fun team to watch too. So I
for
mean,
sure.
I saw a couple of their games, and I think he could be an impact running back for sure.
I 100% agree with you. As soon as I saw the board, that was the first guy that caught my attention. So we're kind of sidestep on there on that as well. A guy who can also be a really good receiving back. He was a former wide receiver, transition to the running back position. So yeah, I think that fit well, and it's something that we need because we know Jordan Mason isn't a great receiving threat out of the backfield. Aaron Jones is, but who knows how long Aaron Jones is going to be here. So I think Brashard Smith can come in, even make an impact this year, but especially in like the next year or two, he's going to be more of a full-time guy who's just kind of a Swiss Army knife who can run the ball and catch it,
Yeah.
and is just has some top end speed as well, which I think this offense really needs as well.
Yeah, and I think if Mike Zimmer was still here, I think it would be no questions asked. Probably Zay Alexander's where we would
Yeah.
go with this pick. I
Yep.
like him a lot too. I don't like fully like the methodology here of just stockpiling cornerbacks in the draft like we used to do, but I do like him as well. But yeah, I think the running back here is a good play.
And Fat Boy Yogi says, "Go Riley Mills, grab him." Defensive interior. We would be adding another Notre Dame player to this. He's 6'5", 295. Better pass rusher, it looks like, than he is a run defender, which I'd be okay with it. But I feel like Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave at this point in their careers, they're the kind of the same way. They're more getting after the passer and not as much, stopping the run, which is more going to be Harrison Phillips duty on that defense. What do you think of Riley Mills? Would you rather have him over an explosive Brashard Smith, or what do you think?
Oh, he's an interesting guy. I don't really feel like I'm one way or another, but I mean he is a big piece that knows how to kind of play both sides of the ball. And like I said earlier, not both sides of the ball, but like he can do both the pass and rushing.
Yeah.
But he's on a good team, Notre Dame. That defense was one of the best in the country. I look at that as well because it kind of shows how you mend with other players and all that kind of good stuff.
Yep.
So obviously these guys are all coming together at Notre Dame. They know what they're doing, and I think it would be a good pickup on the defensive line as well.
For sure. God, I just can't pass up Brashard Smith at this point.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I'm gonna.
That would be a really explosive play and way down at 133. I think that's a good pickup, a good explosive weapon that will be used.
And Riley Mills can maybe still. We have another pick and 6 picks. So Brashard Smith is a little higher on the draft board. So I'm going to go Smith. And if Mills is still there at the 139, we're going to grab him. Does that work for you, Austin?
Yeah, that works.
All right. Let's see what we got here. Brashard Smith. Did he go?
Yeah, I kind of figured.
He went one pick after us.
Yeah.
Sorry, Fat Boy Yogi. I apologize. I was going to try to be smart and do something there, but didn't work out too hot for me. But we are at pick 139 here, into the 5th round. Fat Boy Yogi, again, I'm sorry, but we're going to do a bunch of these mock drafts, so we might get your guy Riley Mills here eventually. But all right, looking at the board here, man.
Yeah, there's really not a lot of positional need here.
Yeah, I feel like we could almost look at a trade down here and kind of fill out the back end of the drafts.
Yeah.
We have 2 more picks. Maybe we can grab another 6th or a 7th or something like that.
Yeah, I think that might be the play here.
Okay. Oh, gosh. I don't like that, though. So we'd have to move all the way back to 166.
Ooh.
I'm not a big fan of that. Let's see what else they got. Yeah, they don't. And then they don't have another pick till 236 and 241. I think at this point we do just stick and pick, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I'm not going to move back. I mean, we could always jump back up, but I think we just stay at 139. And then at pick 187, if we want to move back and get a 7th, we can do that. But just looking here real quick, again, positional needs. We got our tight end. There's a couple decent tight ends here. We could always go for one of these edge rushers.
Yeah.
I also really, really, really love Billy Bowman Jr., just a guy that's always around the football, undersized, but he's like a human pinball on the football field. And I feel like we haven't grabbed a safety yet. So I feel like
Yeah,
that
that
could
we
be an
might
option.
need the safety there. That's a good call.
You know,
I also I also like Chase Lund up there too out of UConn.
okay. Another a tackle. We talked about this
Yeah.
a little bit with Caleb Etienne from BYU. Justin Mello reported that Draft Network. They could be looking at tackles because you don't know um, what's going to happen with Brian O'Neill in the next couple of years. I think he's 31 or 32 years old now.
Yeah.
One of the best right tackles in the league, but eventually we're going to have to find a replacement there. But he's 6'8", 305, just another really good, really big sized player. It says he's got intriguing length and movement skills. Um, so, but he must get stronger, is what it sounds like. So that could be a at pick 139. You could grab a project here in the tackle room. So I'm gonna leave this up to you. Do you go get a project tackle to fill out your depth, or do you go get a safety that's going to be decent on special teams that can maybe be one of your safeties for the future?
Yeah, I think we go with Billy Bowman
Okay,
realistically.
for sure,
That's what I would do because I feel like you gotta try to fill out the secondary on the defense. We didn't really do much in free agency, so that's probably the route we're gonna go.
for sure. I like that pick too. Bob's on here saying, "Grab our quarterback of the future." Hey, our quarterback of the future is on our roster, and it's the present now. He's here. The era is starting. But did you see that photo of Dylan Gabriel, Bo Nix, and um, who am I missing? Justin Herbert.
Oh yeah, I did. Yeah.
He just looks so small between those two, um, which I didn't realize he was that short. What do they have him listed at? 6 foot two
Yeah.
hundred, so like a Drew Brees type size. Um, yeah, I don't think we need Dylan Gabriel.
Yeah, and he
I don't
slings
know.
it from the wrong side too. It's just
Yeah,
I don't like that in a backup quarterback. I don't wanna
yeah,
have
and
people have to get used to it.
yeah, he's got good poise. He's accurate, but I think KOC likes more of the prototypical sized quarterbacks. I
Yeah.
know he took Jaron Hall, who was another kind of smaller quarterback, but at that time we needed just someone to fill in. We didn't have JJ McCarthy at that point. So I feel like if they are going to take a flyer, it might be in the 6th or 7th round on one of the guys that are really toolsy, 6'4", 6'5", who he can kind of mold. But yeah, let's go Billy Bowman here. So we got Gray Zabel, who's probably going to be our guard. Benjamin Morris, who's going to fill out that cornerback room. Harold Fannin Jr., tight end, a pair with T.J. Hawkinson, a guy who can just flat out catch the football and get downfield. Brashard Smith, really explosive playmaker out of the backfield, and hard hitting pinball defender in Billy Bowman out of Oklahoma. All right, well, here's some quarterbacks for you, Austin.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hate going quarterback here.
Or we can trade down 18 picks, which at this point it's not a huge deal.
No, I don't think so either.
We could grab the 245. We get the 205 and the 245 for the 187. I mean, do you
Alright,
want to
let's
do it?
do it. Let's
Let's
see how
grab
it
it.
goes.
Yeah. I know there were some quarterbacks there, but again, it's not a huge need at this point. Brady Cook is still there. I really like Brady Cook out of Missouri.
Yeah,
Um,
two quarterbacks I like, they're still here too. I mean,
yep.
Curtis Rourke, tough guy. He played through injury all year and led that Indiana team into the college football playoffs, and their losses being quality losses, they only lost twice, Ohio State and Notre Dame. So I mean, he knows how to win.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm good with any of these three quarterbacks. Max Brosmer, obviously, we watched him at the U of M. Has the tools to be a really good backup. I like Brady Cooks. This is intangibles. He's 6'2", 215, about the same size as JJ McCarthy. And like you said, Curtis Rourke is a really toolsy quarterback. 6'5", like I mentioned before. He might fit that mold that Kevin O'Connell's kind of looking for. So I'm gonna give this one to you. If we want to go for a project quarterback here, you make the decision.
Oh, okay. I mean, this is tough. I mean, I've talked in prior podcasts how fun Max Brosmer would be. Just I think realistically, I think if we're gonna go quarterback here, I think you go Curtis Rourke
All
though.
right, let's do it. Indiana, another Big Ten quarterback there, coming to Minnesota.
If we get Rosner, I realistically think he's undrafted. I don't know.
For sure. Graham Mertz, who is supposed to be the big time next big time Wisconsin quarterback, just did not work out. Just kind of looking here. Now these are guys that are kind of going to be just fill out your roster guys. If they make the roster, that's great. 7th round pick towards the end of the draft. You want them to be probably good special teams guys.
Yeah.
Teddy Buchanan, I can see that a little bit. Linebacker. Can kind of get up and down the field a little bit. Athletic guy. And I'm just going to be flat out honest with you. I don't know a lot about some of these guys.
Yeah, that's where
at
I'm
this
at
point.
here too.
Let's just fill out that linebacker
Yeah, that makes
group
the most sense.
with Teddy Buchanan, and they always use linebackers on punt returns and kickoffs.
Yeah.
So just get a special teams guy in here, and he's really smart as well. Those Cal guys are always super smart, which always helps.
Yeah, look at Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly, right? Exactly. All right, let's do it. Linebacker. So let's see the grade we got here. How bad they
How
gutted
bad
us.
did we butcher this?
Oh boy, Gray Zabel, we got a B. I think is unfair. Let's just be flat out honest. B+ for Benjamin Morris, C+ for Harold Fannin. I think that's a really good pick, Harold Fannin. I think PFF's just kind of looking at like, do you really
positional need? Yeah,
positional need, exactly. Rashard Smith, we got a good grade, a B+. Billy Bowman, B. Your Curtis Rourke pick got an A.
I guess I know what I'm talking about here.
Yeah, exactly. And B- for our linebacker, we got a B+. Top 53% of drafts. Good solid haul, I think we got there. We ended up getting 7 players. The one thing that I maybe think we kind of missed out on, but just the way the board fell, and we could have got that right away in the first round, was a defensive interior guy.
Yeah.
And maybe Fat Boy's like, yeah, you should have got my boy Riley Mills. But we got a good grade on the Rashard Smith pick, and I think he's a great another option in the backfield, especially this year, and probably one of your running backs of the future, which I think is big.
Yeah, and another one, Bison's, I meant sports fan. So Steve here saying CJ Ham replacement ? I just don't think that fullbacks can ever get drafted unless they are a real standout. So I mean,
yeah,
I think something like that's an unrestricted free agent, and honestly, probably not even coming from the D1 level. It's going to come from someone that more uses the fullback, in my opinion.
Yep. No, I totally agree with you.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, I was just reading the comments here. Bob says, pick someone with a J in their name. According to new math, you got an A. Let's go. We got an A. I'll take it. According to Bob, we got an A. But yeah, just feel like we filled out the roster there pretty well. If we can get 7 players out of this draft with only having 4 picks, I think that's a win. And especially if we can get guys from that impact, just looking back at it again. Gray Zabel.
We actually can get my guy. I've been saying it since day one on here, Gray Zabel.
Yep. And he's going to be a day one guy. Benjamin Morrison is going to be a day one impact player. I don't know if he's going to start on the outside right off the bat, but he's going to get snaps. And then Harold Fannin Jr. and Rashard Smith. That's adding a lot of explosiveness and a lot of speed to your offense. Now, you already got Jordan Addison and Jalen Naylor, but if you can add those 2 players to positions that maybe you don't have a ton of speed. You don't have a ton of speed out of the running back group. You definitely don't have a ton of speed out of your tight end group. So just to be able to add more playmakers from both of those positions, I think is huge. Billy Bowman Jr., who said that? Fat Boy said, yeah, he looks hella small. He is undersized, but he makes up for it in heart and just tenacity, and he's going to be really good in special teams. That's why I went Teddy Buchanan as well from Cal. And then you kind of got a project quarterback with Curtis Rourke, who I think Kevin O'Connell is going to draft a quarterback, even if J.J. McCarthy's the guy, every other year or every third year. And this would make it 3 years in a row, Jaron Hall, J.J. McCarthy, Curtis Rourke. But I could see them doing it, especially with that quarterback room is not super. We don't have like a, a project in that room right now. And I feel like Kevin O'Connell kind of always wants a guy that he can kind of tool around with in that quarterback room.
Yeah, for sure. And we've kind of even said people like that in free agency that could fit that mold, like a Drew Lock. Like
Yep.
Kevin O'Connell always likes to be working with the quarterback room, trying to make improvements. And honestly, bringing in a project like Curtis O'Rourke into the quarterback room helps JJ McCarthy too, because they're going to be helping each other. JJ's already been in the NFL for a year, not really
Yep.
playing, but he's been around. So just being able to give pointers to another quarterback kind of helps you grow as a player as well. So
No doubt.
I think that's kind of where KOC is coming from.
No doubt about it. No, it's a great first mock. I think we're gonna do another one on Thursday. Steve's gonna hop on and kind of roll one with us and see how it goes. But we kind of, this is how we learn about these prospects. Now I dig into it every day. I think Austin digs into it almost every day.
Mm-hmm.
But just seeing more names and more names and more names helps us learn about these guys, and it helps you guys learn as well. I do like Luke Kandra, C-Dot. He could be a good guard. I think it'd be about a year or two out, kind of like Michael Juergens out of Wake Forest last year.
Yeah.
Takes a little bit of development, but I really like his tools and everything like that. But talked about this before, but we got more people watching, so I just want to pull this up again. Something that we're doing next week on $10 mock draft week. DM us for more info, but you can, again, on Twitter, probably DM me over there. $10. You join us live on stream and lead us in a mock draft for the Vikings. We're going to be doing this Monday through Friday next week. Schedule a time with us. All the profits, they're not going to us. They're going to JJ for the Kids Foundation, and we'll make a donation straight there. 100% of the funds are going over there. We try to do something like this every off season around the draft, and JJ for the Kids. Just a great cause. Again, I talked about this earlier, but I think he worked with a pizza company in the Twin Cities, and they gave out a bunch of pizza, and he donated $10,000 to a school up there, which was really cool. So if you have any interest in that, again, $10, and you do a mock draft with us, 15, 20 minutes, and we just let you lead the way. We let you be the GM for the day, which is a lot of fun, and just talk football with us and have a good time. But anything else on your mind, Austin, before we get out of here?
No, I don't think I have anything. No, I think we hit it all right in the beginning. Vikings are Aaron Rodgers looks like we don't have to worry about him. So hopefully the talk will completely subside on here. We won't completely be Rodgers central, but
yeah, right. Oh, that's right.
but it's still a topic. I still gotta talk about it when it's there. So, but yeah, nothing really.
Yep. And I was just looking at the market quick again. Yeah, 53% to the Steelers, 17% to the Vikings, 17% to the Giants, 12% to retire. So it's been about the same here the last few hours, but I check it every couple hours just to get a good idea of kind of where things are at. But just looking here again, I always scroll Twitter before we hop off because you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, I think we keep an eye on maybe a wide receiver 3 move. I feel like they're still, looking at some guys, the interest in Tyler Lockett, what's going to happen with Rondale Moore, and a couple really good guards are out there still. I always talk about Tevin Jenkins. And we got plenty of cap space yet.
Yeah.
And maybe we need to talk more about the Sauce Gardner rumors, or if I feel like there's a big move coming. But we can always do that in a different episode. But if something out of the blue happens, we're going to be right here talking with you guys. But appreciate you guys hopping on. Again, if you're on Twitter, go over to our YouTube channel, Viking Central. Subscribe to us over there. But we appreciate all of our channels on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitter. Austin, appreciate it. Good job on the mock.
Yep, thank you. I got the A, so hey.
There you go. There you go. Hey, you might take over for JJ in a couple of years. Now, if everything goes right, JJ is going to be our quarterback for the next 10 to 15 years, and that's what we want. Maybe he'll be a high-end backup for JJ McCarthy, which is always good in the 6th round. So, all right, Viking Central. I appreciate you guys. We'll see you in the next one.